Okay, I'm recording, so basically let people know what state you're in.
Virginia. Pennsylvania
Virginia.
County, Virginia.
Okay, and tell people what happened in your case and how we basically trapped them and cornered them into admitting something they didn't want to admit.
Well, I went through a road check, a checkpoint, and they stopped me, and I wasn't wearing my seatbelt. They gave me a seatbelt ticket. And I went for my first trial day or whatever, and I tried to file some motions in open court. They denied. They wouldn't let me. They denied my motions. They wouldn't let me. File them in open court, pretty much. And so anyway, I lost that case, and I appealed. And when I filed two motions for my appeal. One was a demand for trial by jury. One was a motion to a motion to suppress the evidence that the officer found. But yeah, I filed a demand for trial by jury because I have the right to a trial if I'm being trying to be convicted of a crime. And so after I filed my motions, I got a response from the Commonwealth's attorney recommending to the judge to deny my demand for trial by jury because the violation of this code section constitutes a civil traffic infraction and not a criminal offense. Therefore, I'm not subject to criminal prosecution and therefore not entitled to a trial by jury. And when I went to court, I asked the judge about that because I said, on my notice of appeal here, it says, that this is a criminal matter. And I got this letter from the Commonwealth's attorney saying that it was a civil traffic infraction and not a criminal matter. And the judge told me that, and I quote, that I was in a quasi civil criminal jurisdiction. And and I said, yeah, well, Your Honor, I object, to these proceedings. And he said, well, I'll take that as your plea, and we'll move forward. And and so pretty much, I guess I don't know what he meant by we take that as your plea, but so and I questioned the officer. First the Commonwealth attorney questioned the officer. Asked him, what happened. He pulled me over to road check. He observed me not wearing my seatbelt, so he gave me a summons. And I asked the officer, when I got to cross-examine the officer, I asked him, officer, when you stopped me, did you have any reason to believe that I was involved in criminal activity? He said no. I asked him, any time did he observe me committing the crime? He said no. I asked him, so when you arrested me and he stopped me there and said, well, I didn't arrest you, I gave you a summons. And I said, well, excuse me, on the summons it says, here, arrest date and arrest time. So you're saying that I wasn't arrested? And he says, no, I arrested you. And I said, okay, well, after you arrested me, did you take me before a magistrate? He said, no. He said, well, after you arrested me, any time did you read me my Miranda rights? And he said, no. And so, I pretty much said no further questions. I really didn't kind of know where to go after that.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I mean, I got him to admit that, he arrested me and I, did not commit a crime. And, and so after that, I didn't want to testify. I didn't figure, that I needed to get up there and testify. So I just made my closing arguments, and I closed with pretty much what we put together in the motion to suppress Delaware versus Prouse, 1979, where the Supreme Court rules that it's unlawful for him to stop me just to check my license and registration,
Yep.
and that they can't do that. They've got to have some reason to pull me over. And so, I told the judge, Your Honor, I moved the court to dismiss these charges on the grounds that the officer violated my Fourth Amendment rights under the Constitution, and he dismissed the charges.
Yep. What did the judge say?
Well, when I read that to him, he said, and I moved the court to dismiss the charges. He said, well, Mr. Martin, he said, the road check that you went to was a lawful road check.
Yes, it was.
There, you said you did not do your homework good enough there. But he said, but I'm going to go ahead and dismiss these charges anyway.
Yes, and here, let me tell you something that I just was talking with a friend of mine, as a matter of fact, over dinner. We were discussing about these road checks, and a lot of cases will say the road checks are constitutional. However, they never address the fact, are they constitutional when they stop you? You see, that's where that's where the little trick comes in, but because they're not, of course, because they never observed you committing a crime. And they had they had no probable cause. However, the check is constitutional until basically they stop you. That's from what I understand. So, just so people know, people that don't know that are watching this video, in the state of Virginia, if you're found guilty, when you appeal, you get pretty much a second trial. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, that's right. You actually get a court of record then.
Yeah.
Which, unlike in my case, the court reporter was sick, called in sick that day. So nothing that there's actually, I'm kind of disappointed, too, that there wasn't that, because I wanted to get a transcript of what went on that day.
Yeah.
And but somehow the court reporter called in sick, so they had to move a bunch of misdemeanor and felony cases because of that. So.
Yeah, because like out here in California, when we're found guilty and we appeal, there's no second, I guess, bite at the apple. What happens is we just have to go and appeal to the appellate division, but we don't go in front of a judge or anything like that. However, in your state, if you're found guilty, then you appeal, then you actually go to what would be a superior court out here, and you are in what used to be municipal court. However, we don't have that here anymore, thanks to a friend of mine who actually is just came out on the news and caught some cops doing some speed traps on Channel 11. It's pretty funny. But anyway, so is there anything you would want to tell people that are watching this video right now, if they choose to fight it?
Well, I would tell them. I mean, you really need to study the law and see where they are not following the law. And that's the thing is the thing. I mean, pretty much they're out there robbing us at gunpoint on the highway is what they're doing. And the quasi criminal civil court that you go to in traffic court is I'm sorry for lack of a better term, bullshit. It's not a court of record. They can say and do whatever they want, and they will just rob you in that courtroom. And in my state, in Virginia, like you said, you get another trial. If you go and appeal, then it's on a court of record, and you actually get a chance to argue your case like you should be able to in the first place. Yeah. And in my case, with your help, I felt empowered, when I left that courtroom, that I was able to defend myself against charges that I felt, were violating my pursuit of happiness. But if you stand up for yourself and you go and you take the time off work and go through the appeal process, I think you'll find that you're going to be satisfied with your results, because when you stand up for yourself, they've got to back down.
Yeah, and you know what I noticed right now?
They're breaking the law.
Yeah, they are. My next project is how to get, I was talking with someone who actually was able to do this, how to get a traffic citation removed from state court into federal court as soon as they get it. So that'll be my next project, because I want to address certain issues that, like in my cases, I'll be able to address once I'm in federal court, but it's taking too long. So I'm just like, well, let's just get to the point. So we'll be able to do that. because, you know, in state court they just want money and there's no respect, where they keep saying in federal court it's a gentleman's court, as they say. So, but you know, in your case, for example, if you choose to file a claim for damages, and then eventually when they turn it down, you can sue them. That's an option you have because you have won. Unfortunately, there is no record, so you don't have the testimony of the cop, which is kind of tricky there, because you know.
Exactly. That's one reason why I wanted the transcript, because I don't think, you know, I think it would, you know, I would have had a much better civil case if I had court reporter had been there, and I would have been it, because I don't even feel like that I was trying to court a record like I was supposed to be, like I was, you know, like I'm entitled to, because you know I don't have any kind of record of, you know, what went on in there.
Yeah.
And you're right. You know, and when before I left, I asked the judge, you know, after he dismissed the charges, I was like, well, thank you, Your Honor. I said, one more thing, you know. I said, I have a bill here, you know, for, you know, my costs, you know, that it took to defend these charges, and I'd like to submit this bill to the court. And he said, no, Mr. Martin, you cannot submit your bill to the court. And he actually said it with a smile. It amused him a little bit, but
yeah.
I'm glad I could humor him, but yeah, so, you know, and that's the one thing, is I'm not going to be, you know, able to get, you know, a fair shake in the civil court without that transcript.
Yeah.
Because they can just deny whatever happened in there.
Yeah, but who knows? You never know. So, but anyways, I want to thank you for making this video with me. I really do appreciate it. I've been sick as a dog. I want to thank you for helping me out.
Yeah,
no problem. I've been sick as a dog, as you can hear my voice, but I've been doing nothing but studying, and hopefully, you know, one day you can tell your friends to go look at your video on YouTube. All right, so I'm gonna.
I'll definitely be linking to this video for sure. Yeah, because I do want to spread the word. You know, you just don't have to sit there and take it and pay the ticket. No, I mean you can't fight it, because what they're doing is illegal.
Yeah.
And you can prove it in court.
Yeah.
What they're doing is illegal. So,
yeah. All right. Well, thank you for making this video. I'm gonna stop recording. Okay.
All right. Thanks, man.